No matter
Sir,
you,
I'm going to find you in contempt if you keep talking over me and being disrespectful.
understood what
Sir,
I was
please don't
asking.
interrupt me.
That's why I had a question.
Sir,
When you're done,
stop. If you want to
before I get to that, I
represent,
have questions.
sir,
That's what I'm saying.
stop.
I have
Stop
before that
interrupting me.
party. So,
Sir, quit repeating yourself.
if there's a hurt party, can you present the hurt party to me?
I may have to find you in contempt. Is that what you're trying to get
I'm
me to?
not arguing about the court. I'm trying to understand.
Can you not understand what I'm saying?
What
Sir, you
did you
better
not?
go back to law school because I don't think you got the education you need to represent yourself. This is case number 2023 TR3 00060, State of Kansas versus Isaiah S. Curvin. Now then, Jill Gillette, County Attorney, appears for the state, and the defendant, Isaiah Curvin, appears in person and pro se. This is the pretrial hearing. The trial is set for jury Wednesday and Thursday of this week. February 7 and 8, there is one count of operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. Now, that seems to the court to be you either had a license or you didn't. Of course, the burden would be on the state to show there was no license, but Mr. Curvin, are you challenging that? Are you saying you did have a valid license?
No, I had a question before that about the jurisdiction. I was challenging jurisdiction, so I had a question about that.
Okay.
'Cause I wanted to know the cause and nature of what's bringing the suit against you. So I really didn't understand.
All right. Well, the people of Kansas, as you probably know, get together ever so often and have elections to elect people to represent them in Topeka, the state capital, and those legislators pass laws that are for the good of all of us in theory, maybe in practice, and then we are to follow those laws. One of the laws at some point in time that those legislators made was that if we are going to operate a motor vehicle in Kansas, we have to have a valid driver's license. And if you do not have a valid driver's license when driving the automobile, it is to be treated as a Class B non-person misdemeanor. And they set the penalties of up to 6 months in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. So the authority comes from the people of the state of Kansas that pass the laws through their elected representatives. And they also pass laws, have judges, and I'm one of those judges that presides over these type of cases. They also pass the law that you can't have a jury trial for this type of offense. And so that's the authority, that's the nature of it. It's a traffic case, but it's also designated a criminal case, a B misdemeanor. So does that help you with your question, sir, or is there something else we need to address?
Well, yes, I have another question. When you say it's been a criminal, would that it gives the court two ways? Sixth Amendment actually gives the court two ways to do it. They can do it through like either like common law or is it colorable maritime admiralty law? Which one am I want to be tried under? With jurisdiction?
This is neither common law nor admiralty law. This is criminal law under the Constitution of the state of Kansas, as affected by case law and federal law, of course.
So it's neither common nor color of
That
an
is
aberration.
correct. That is
Neither one.
correct. Neither.
So which one? What am I going to be tried under? What jurisdiction am I following so I can properly move and so I can understand how to defend myself?
You're being tried under the criminal jurisdiction of the Kansas statutes.
Statutes, but under the Constitution, it grants you only two, and it has two criminal matters. One has to be common law, the other has to be the maritime amnesty.
Ms. Gillette, do you wish to be heard in response? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out.
Uh, Judge, this is basically kind of more of a statutory violation. This defendant, you know, when you enter into the state of Kansas, you consent to the laws of Kansas when you drive upon the highways. The interstate compact between all of the states that are members of the interstate compact for traffic infractions means that when you consent to the laws of your state, or you drive upon or travel upon the roads of Kansas, Oklahoma, any of the states that are part of the compact, you consent to those laws when you enter into that state. So with the interstate compact, he would be consenting to the laws of the state of Kansas the moment he drives across the border. That law becomes effectual upon you, and it's your responsibility. It's when you become a licensed driver, or you have a license, or you become a driver and you're driving, then you are consenting to the laws of that state that you are traveling within. So jurisdiction is set up, as the judge said, by the Constitution of the state of Kansas and the laws of the legislature that are passed statutorily, and our statutes are passed with the law in this case. I would note for the record, Judge, that there is still no things on Odyssey for me to see. There's not a written request for jury trial. There's no motions to be heard today. I cannot respond to any motions because there's none on file.
Well,
Therefore, if he is going to file anything of record for me to respond to, he would need to have his filings on file at least 7 days advance of a hearing for me to respond, and that there is no proper written request for a jury trial at this time. Therefore, this case could go to bench trial on Wednesday, and we would not have to have a jury present due to the fact that there is a lack of request for jury trial. And if there is no written he's wanting to argue jurisdiction, dismissal motions, and all kinds of motions. There's nothing before the court in writing for me to respond to. I don't know what he's going to say. So one of our other pro se individuals had written several motions. Most were very lacking, but at least I had something to respond to. In this case, under the laws and Constitution of Kansas, you submit when you come into our jurisdiction. Therefore, when he traveled into Kansas and operated a motor vehicle, he consented to the laws and jurisdiction of Kansas. And I would say that we have jurisdiction, and that lack of venue and jurisdiction is denied, should be denied.
I had a question about that because when you say that I consent, is there like a form? Was that like that? What would that be under? That would be civil. Would that be
Sir,
like
you
would that be
you
the
can
criminal matter?
you consented by your conduct of going onto a road that is a state of Kansas highway and a
So which jurisdiction would be under? Like, would that be like maritime, like as a
sir,
contract?
I've answered that question to you, and you got on the road and you consented to driving on the road, and therefore you did consent to laws associated with driving. So I am going to hold you to the law in this particular case. Now,
what I'm understanding when you say you said the cause of nature, and but that's why I was not understanding still about that, because you said the cause of nature, and then I asked,
sir, if you want me to entertain any of your arguments, you need to have them well thought out, and you need to have them in writing, and you need to have them, sir, listen to me, please. You need to have them in writing. You need to have them filed with the court. You need to give copies and notice to Miss Gillette so she can have an opportunity to respond. And I'm not going to entertain this process throughout the proceedings where you come in and you just start saying things.